I have several speaker cards for our oral communications. I'm going to go ahead and start with Michael Gonzalez and then Christine Pepin.
Hi there. My name is Mike Gonzalez. I'm with the Green Party in Santa Clara County. We're asking you today to divest from banks that finance the Dakota Access Pipeline and other fossil fuels. Currently, according to your financial records, you have $7 million in Wells Fargo and $3 million in HSBC as investments. I have slides.
So what you need to do is just tell the voice behind us that you'd like to have your slides brought up.
I'd like to have the slides brought up?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And there's a clicker right there.
Okay. Okay, so the company behind the Dakota Access Pipeline had told us that this is the newest technology and they weren't going to leak. But in an article by The Guardian on May 25th, last month, 2 million gallons of fracking fluid actually leaked from one of their other pipelines in Ohio. And then on the Dakota Access Pipeline, we've already had 3 leaks. The Associated Press said that 84 gallons spilled in March in Waterford City, North Dakota. A second above ground spill, March 5th, Mercer County in North Dakota. A half a barrel, that's 20 gallons, has already leaked from the Dakota Access Pipeline. And then a third leak on April 4th of 84 gallons. So again, the newest technology isn't preventing leaks, and keep in mind that the Dakota Access Pipeline is going under one of the biggest watersheds in America, the Missouri River. So on the next slide, I want to show you that fossil fuel accidents don't just, they're not just happening somewhere else. This is in Benicia. There was flares in Benicia on May 5th. They were asking schools to actually shelter in place and people to actually shelter in place. That was CBS Radio announced that on May 5th. So all of these accidents happened within a couple of months. So we just can't wait for, I know it's inconvenient and maybe you guys are very busy and have a lot of things to do, but I'm really hoping that you will consider agendizing the divestment from banks at Wells Fargo and HSBC that finance the Dakota Access Pipeline. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. Next is Christine Pepin and then Wee Tran.
Hello. Hi, my name is Christine Pepin. I'm a Sunnyvale resident and a council member of the Santa Clara County Green Party. I am here tonight to respectfully ask the council to divest from banks funding the Dakota Access Pipeline, or DAPL, the Keystone XL Pipeline, and extreme fossil fuels. As you know, the oil, gas, and coal industries are moving towards more and more extreme forms of fossil fuels. These fossil fuels rely on extraction, processing, and transportation techniques that are dirty, risky, and dangerous. The Keystone XL Pipeline transports oil extracted from tar sands, which is a heavy form of crude oil that is extremely polluting to produce and corrosive to pipelines. When something goes wrong, as it inevitably does, it is very difficult to clean a tar sand spill. And spills happen quite often. Energy Transfer Partners, a company behind DAPL, has recently spilled, just like the previous speaker said, 2 million gallons of drilling fluid into Ohio wetlands. These wetlands will likely not recover to their previous conditions for decades. And DAPL has had 3 recent leaks in March before it was even operational and leaked more than 100 gallons of oil. There's also much concern about the way these companies handle the construction of these pipelines. They sometimes build the pipeline too close to private homes, recreational parks, or Indian reservations. They may destroy animal habitats. In North Dakota, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe said that the construction of the pipeline threatened its sacred sites and water supply. They even sued the Army Corps of Engineers, arguing that they were not adequately consulted before granting the company fast-track approval. So these companies have too much power to trample over people's rights, in particular indigenous rights. This power comes from certain rules and regulations, of course, but also from the money that big banks are lending these companies. Giant fossil fuel projects require billions of dollars to build. Some banks profit off climate chaos and manage to avoid responsibility for the environmental and social impact of these projects. These banks, for instance, are Citibanks, Wells Fargo, Union Bank, Chase, HSBC, and many others. Major cities like Seattle, San Francisco, Davis, Santa Monica, and more recently Berkeley divested billions in assets from these banks and over their involvement with DAPO. According to the city investment report, Sunnyvale currently has assets with Wells Fargo, HSBC, and the Tennessee Valley Authority. We're asking the city of Sunnyvale to divest from these institutions and to consider putting their money in more socially responsible banks and credit unions. Mayor Hendricks recently reiterated the city's commitment to climate action and the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement. Thank you. As a leader in climate mitigation and sustainability, the city of Sunnyvale should therefore also consider divesting from banks directly funding fossil fuels. And we will be happy to help the council in any way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop.
Thank you.
And that was my last speaker card. I'm gonna close oral communications. Councilmember Griffin.
Yes, thank you. There's been some related to what one of the speakers, a couple of the speakers brought up. There's been some confusion about the city's policy regarding direct and indirect investments in fossil fuel. I was wondering if the city manager could clear that up, because I've been getting questions along the lines of what they've been asking.
That's correct. The city council asked us to bring back through its our investment policy an action that reflected that the city would not participate in direct or indirect investments. We will be bringing that action forward on June 20th, and the council will be considering that policy action.
Okay, thank you.